Got a great guest in studio to talk Mason Transit. It's the general manager, Danette Brannin, and good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming on the air with me here this morning. Always
You're
nice
welcome.
talking transit. I was following along with the MTA's Twitter page at Mason Transit there on the Twitter, and I hear that there is some big community conversations upcoming this weekend, talking the Kitsap Transit Fast Ferry connections and some overall service reviews. So I thought it'd be nice to have you in to talk about those two things. First, though, let's go back to some of the things that we had talked about
Sure.
a while ago, the Park and Ride program, and how's that all coming along?
Yes. Well, we are just about ready to close on property up in Belfair for our Belfair Park and Ride. It's just north of the downtown Belfair area, if you want to call that,
Sure.
and still within the UGA. So we're really looking forward to starting that project. We hope to have it done by June of 19. So it'll probably be about a year build once we get all the drawings and all the bid packs and all that out. And we plan to start probably in March of 18. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to having a permanent office space up there for our drivers, a break room, a fenced area for our buses. It'll have electric charging for cars, as well as hopefully someday maybe for electric bus up there.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
Huh? Okay, I
So-
was wondering, and a lot of others may have been listening, going, well, if it's just a park and ride,
Right.
if it's just a cement parking area, what's going to take so long? But there's some nice amenities coming
Yes.
in.
Yes, we do plan to have a break room and a small conference room for use up there in Belfair.
Do you have
So-
any idea on the size availability for folks parking?
It'll have 100 stalls.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
That's really nice. One of the big transit things that happened over the last couple months was this fast ferry service
Yes.
that started up.
Yes.
And so this is a good way, and Mason Transit can get you there. And these are part of these conversations upcoming?
Yes, exactly. We so we haven't made any service changes yet to accommodate the fast ferry times. We're waiting to let that kind of see how that works out.
Yeah.
With timing, with who's going to use the fast ferry that are of our current riders, and then obviously the potential to get more riders using Mason Transit up to the ferry. But we wanted to wait and see how it all worked out, as far as there was talk about part of the seating on the fast ferry would need to be reserved, and then part would be open. And so then we thought, well, if our riders weren't able to get on the fast ferry, how was that going to work? So we kind of are letting the bugs work themselves out
that's
before
probably
we
a good
make some
idea.
service changes. But we do want to talk with riders that currently maybe are using the fast ferry or are using the Washington State Ferry and would like to switch over, but maybe the timing isn't working out from when we arrive at the ferry dock. So we want to hear what people have to say that are currently using it and suggestions they may have. And we also want to just talk about overall service and ways we can improve and ways we can better serve the citizens in the community and get them where they need to go. Especially we're finding that we've have express routes, but we've divided our ridership between regular route that may be going, like, for instance, to Olympia, and then we incorporated express routes. Well, it just kind of divided the ridership. So we want to increase ridership, not divide between two times. And we're currently spending, I think we're doing 19 trips to Olympia a day, and we're finding some of those routes and those times are not being utilized. So we want to have like an overall look at our service, get some suggestions, and we feel doing it kind of in this informal community conversation way makes it a little bit maybe not quite as intimidating as saying it's a public meeting, and so having just like come in and talk to us kind of approach, where we had one back in March and it was highly attended. I mean, highly attended, I say we had 7 people, and I thought that was a great turnout. So I'm looking for another great turnout this Saturday.
Couple of options for you. One at 10 o'clock at the North Mason Library up in Belfair, and then here at the Transit Community Center in downtown Shelton on Franklin, and that's at 1 o'clock. How long are these conversations going to be?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
We open up that time, and of course, if we we're open to a little bit longer conversation if needed. So we've kind of built in time to be able to do that.
How is Mason Transit doing over the summer and ridership? Does it increase with kids not being in school and as people get ready to start school again? I imagine kids are riding the buses there too. Or?
Sure. Right now our fixed route ridership is up, and the rest of our modes of travel a little bit less. It seems to be kind of common for transit, like rural transit right now. We still look at why is ridership down? Is it related to summer, or is it related to gas prices, or is our service not coming frequent enough? And so that's part of, as I mentioned, the service consultant analysis that we want to do. We want to hire someone to really help us look into those things and define areas that maybe we're underserving the population, and how we could improve that. So
Mason Transit does want to hear from you on overall service reviews and this Kitsap Transit Fast Ferry connection this upcoming Saturday, 10 o'clock at the North Mason Library, 1 o'clock in downtown Shelton at the Transit Community Center. You can always, and I would encourage you on social media to follow not only at Mason Transit, but also follow along with that hashtag MTA alert, as if there are ever accidents or service interruptions. That's one of the best places to find them right away is on the Twitter. You can also find them at masontransit.org, and on Facebook. We'll put the links to those here in the interview when we post it. Great website at masontransit.org. It not only gives you information about travel within the county, but can also help you find trips outside of the county and into the Seattle area. You can make it to the ocean. You can get pretty much anywhere from a Mason Transit bus.
Yes, and look forward to Kathy Geis coming in and sharing her field trip she's been doing on just exactly how to do that.
Oh, that'll be fun. It's always nice talking with Kathy. Danette, good to see you, and thanks for updating us on the things at MTA, and we'll put this on the website with all the appropriate links to the show notes, okay?
Great, thanks.
Thanks
for having me.